Alright guys, today I would like to talk about the process of building up this here Klingon Battlecruiser, so stay tuned. I didn't really do any video and didn't document much, but I think there's still value in the build, so we're kind of going to go over it mostly with photographs. This is the 537 Klingon Battlecruiser, originally released with the motion picture and released a number of times over the years. When this was reissued, I bought it. I kind of messed around with it a little bit. I didn't want to light it because it's not a great kit. And at the end of the day, you're only going to get some windows. I mean, you can do a bunch of additions, but with the 350 version out, I guess if you have limited shelf space, then you would put all the effort into this. I built this guy up, and I think I took about 3 or 4 stabs at it. The first I tried to paint it like the box art, which was supposed to replicate the motion picture, which it does not. It really, really doesn't. The paint guide was terrible, which is kind of a thing that round 2 does. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to do it in more traditional colors, and I wasn't really happy with that either. So I opted to do it in the Qo'Nos One colors. Now, this has not been modified to match the Qo'Nos One from Star Trek VI. It is simply a replicated paint scheme. Actually, it was a lot of fun. It was time consuming. Using the Qo'Nos One reference shots from, I believe, Christie's, I did the best paint scheme I could to match that based on the shapes on the model. Had to take a few liberties. The red's kind of a custom mix. Actually, I think all except for the base gray, which I believe is dark ghost gray. Everything else is kind of a custom mix to get reasonably close to the tonality of what they used, which also gets further changed in color grading and color correction in post before it goes on screen anyway. So here we have the motion picture / Star Trek II / Star Trek VI Klingon Battlecruiser in those colors. Now, as you'll see from the top, it's a fairly detailed paint scheme, and I had to take a number of steps to do it. Lots of masking, lots and lots and lots of masking. Has a few spots which I can't remember now, where there are actual differences in the plating on the surface, and I'm looking at it now because I don't remember where it was. I thought it was on the top. It might be on the bottom. But there's a spacing issue between here and here. But we'll look at the bottom in a bit. Gray base first, and I kind of started with the red on here and here. They were good places to start. Now this is also a chance to talk about the construction, because this thing does not fit well. I don't know if you can see the gap there. It's not well designed, and even the onion head is really, really not good. As a matter of fact, we'll do it this way. You can see that. A bit of sanding kind of make it look okay, but even then I still got to glue this back on. And yeah, the fit here, the onion, the bridge module, you would get some space, some gaps along there and whatnot. Here's where I didn't center the decal perfectly, so it's a little bit off the center, but that's okay. So I did the red, then I did this gray that's got a bit of a brown tone in it, the light gray, which was it used to be Tester's light gray until they discontinued Model Master acrylic, and then the dark gray, and then kind of the final work with the gold highlights. And it was so much masking. The results are definitely worth it. It paints up nice. Luckily the panels are raised, so it's relatively easy to get in there with masking tape. However, I found with putting masking tape down to get it nice and secure so it doesn't bleed, you got to get a good seal. These cuticle sticks are exceptionally good. You've got 2 ends. You got a pointy end and this angled end, so they're very good for pressing in and then getting your shape. So Cuticle sticks, would recommend. I took a number of liberties on the engines just because they don't match the Qo'Nos One because it was modified for lighting. Did what I felt looked good there. Not too much detail. Same thing here with the forward bulkhead, just a little bit of color. Underside, this was masked so that I did an outside and inside mask to get the outline. Light gray. And this is where it got fun. It's very hard to replicate the Qo'Nos One because of the shapes here. Anything, here, here, that's all masking work to get those designs. It is a very intricate paint scheme. If you got a couple weeks for masking and painting, I can do it because it really looks great. It looks good on the shelf. But yeah, there's not much else to say about it because the build is straightforward. Subassembly, lower forward hull subassembly, upper subassembly, neck subassembly, body subassembly, engine subassembly, impulse deck subassembly. There's not that many pieces. And I don't think it needed much putty. Yeah, the forward seam needed it around the back of the neck. I don't think I did too much around here. Okay, yeah, I need a bunch at the very back joint and the usual spots, the end, where the pylons meet and whatnot. But mostly it was just basic seam work. A lot of times I just sanded it smooth and then painted it. So would I recommend this kit? I would absolutely recommend this kit. It's a reasonably fun little build, not super challenging. You can light it. There's a whole bunch of aftermarket pieces available from it. With the amount of money you're going to pay to get all the aftermarket pieces to make this accurate, get the 350 because you're going to end up spending less. But if you want a decent little shelf build, and even this is still big for a shelf because of the awkward design. It looks decent. It's a lot of fun. I'd recommend it. You can have fun with paint schemes. Try something different than what you've seen on screen. I hope you got something from this build review of the Klingon Battlecruiser. Decent, straightforward build. You know where to find me on YouTube. Like, subscribe, do all the stuff. Helps me get noticed. I really hate digital panhandling, but that's where we are. Thanks for watching, and keep on building.